So what's wrong with the blueberry pie?
There's nothing wrong with the blueberry pie.
There's nothing wrong with this blueberry pie either, but its recipe is very unusual. There is one ingredient that makes this pie melt in your mouth, and today I'm going to unveil it. Hello everyone, it's Hungry Masha. Today I'm going to cook this amazing blueberry pie. If you want to do it with me, let's go.
Go, 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 go.
For the pastry we will need 2 egg yolks. Wait, are they already boiled? Yes, exactly. We are going to add hard-boiled egg yolks into the pastry. It will make the pastry very light and crumbly, but first we will grate them and make sure that no big pieces left. Then we take 200 grams of room temperature butter and mix it with 40 grams of icing sugar. I mix it well with a spatula and add our grated egg yolks. The butter is nice and homogeneous. You can see that there is no piece of egg yolk left. We also need to add 210 grams of flour. First I mix it with some baking powder and a pinch of salt. I don't add all of it at once. You better add it gradually. It will be easier to mix it with the butter. Now I add 40 grams of ground almonds and I mix the dough with my hands again. I will put the dough into the fridge overnight. Our dough spent a night in the fridge. Now we will roll it out. But first I will divide the dough. I will use 1/3 of it for the crust. I put 2/3 of the dough between 2 baking sheets and roll it out. The dough is quite cold in the beginning and it's difficult to roll out, but it warms up very quickly. We make a circle that is a bit bigger than our baking tin. I butter it and sprinkle with flour. Then I put the dough in the baking tin this way. My dough is too warm. I put it in the fridge before removing the baking paper. After my dough cooled down, I managed to remove the baking paper. I make the pastry even with a glass and remove the excess dough. I will put the pastry into the fridge while I'm rolling out the rest of the pastry. It should be 3-4 mm thick. I will put it in the fridge as well while I'm making the filling. For the filling I take 500 grams of frozen blueberries. I didn't defrost them in advance. I add 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 1 tablespoon of flour. I mix the berries with the dry ingredients. Every berry should be covered with starch and flour. Then I add the zest of 1 lemon and some lemon juice. It will brighten up the flavor of blueberries. I take the pastry out of the fridge and I put the berries inside the tin. I will put it back into the fridge. Now I'm taking the dough that I left for the lettuce crust and I'm going to cut out strips of dough. Each will be 2 cm wide. Now I'm going to make the lattice crust. I will make just 3 stripes each way. It will be faster and easier. This pastry is very fragile, so you need to keep it cold. Otherwise you won't be able to move the dough stripes onto the pie like it happened to one of my stripes. But I could fix it and in the end it looked fine. Covering the pie crust with some egg mixed with a splash of milk. I sprinkle it with some sugar to caramelize the crust. I bake the pie for 30 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. As you may notice, I kept the pie in the oven for 33 minutes. That's because I was distracted by my daughter. That's why the pie is a bit too brown on one side, but it's not burnt. We need to let the pie cool down for 2-3 hours before cutting it. It should still be a bit warm when you serve it. If you serve it the next day after putting it into the fridge, just put it in the warm oven for a few minutes. I don't recommend to reheat it in the microwave because the crust will get soggy. Also, don't try to remove the pie from the cake tin. The pastry is very fragile. Cut it in the cake tin and serve it directly from there. Enjoy this amazing pie with a scoop of ice cream. And don't forget to press the like button. Thank you for watching us and see you soon!